Now on the program, let me introduce Dr. Pratibha Shah, international renowned Ayurveda consultant and founder of My Ayurveda LLC in the United States. In her lecture, she will focus on philosophical approaches in Ayurveda and their relevance for integrative health. So please welcome.
Thank you. Is this working? Are you able to hear me? Good morning, everybody. So today my topic, as you can see, and time is less, so I'm going to get started right away. Today my topic is ancient life philosophies, an overlooked and untapped source of deeper wellness. And this is a little bit different from all the other things you might have been listening so far. We never talk about philosophies, do we? I don't think we ever talk about philosophies for wellness, right? It has not found a place in healthcare, right, as such, until now. So this is something that has been catching my fascination for a while now. I have been talking about this topic for a while. So this is going to be my outline because there is a density of presentations going on. I will just share a synopsis of my abstract once again, just to reorient you all. Then I'm going to spend some time setting the context, and we will try to understand the concept of wellness and the concept of well-being. They are different concepts, actually. So the difference between them. And then I will take you to some of the philosophies for deeper wellness and what is the evidence so far. So I have also collected some evidence. And then steps forward and closing reflections. So this is a synopsis of what I had submitted. In today's fast-paced and hyper-digital world, wellness is often reduced to a checklist of habits or commercial trends. Is that right? Right? I'm meditating, I'm breathing, so just a checklist, checkbox. Alienated from its deeper roots in meaning, connection, and balance. In this presentation, I will explore how traditional worldviews, such as those found in Ayurveda and some of the indigenous systems in Eastern as well as Western philosophies, offer timeless, this is important, meaning to say they are relevant today as they were relevant thousands of years back. Holistic frameworks for living well, and these are free. That is the beauty. These are free. These are just untapped. We haven't discussed them enough. These systems view health not just as the absence of disease, but as a state of harmony within oneself, with others, and with nature. This is important. Not just us, but everybody around us, as well as with the nature. So this is a very interconnected framework that I'm talking about. By reframing wellness as a way of being rather than a set of outcomes, these traditions remind us that true health is cultivated from within and in alignment with the rhythms of life. Just digest that a little bit. So a few common features among failing healthcare systems worldwide, as you all know, are increasing chronic disease burdens and progressively poor patient outcomes. Right? This is common in all failing healthcare systems around the world. Especially in the US, you can see that there is a state of crisis or there is a failing grade by the public. So clearly something is missing and something needs to be changed at a fundamental level. So maybe we need to start exploring for other sources of wellness that are still untapped. So what is the concept of wellness? Wellness is a modern word with ancient roots. The key tenets of wellness as both preventive and holistic can be traced back to ancient civilizations from East India and China and to the West, Greece and Rome. In 19th century, some of the intellectual, religious and medical movements developed a parallel with conventional medicine, and this is when the word wellness was coined. This is a timeline of how the word wellness has evolved over centuries. Now, this is a definition of wellness by the Global Wellness Institute. They say that wellness is the active pursuit of activities, choices, and lifestyles that lead to a state of holistic health. There are two important aspects of this definition. First, it is proactive. Second, wellness is linked to holistic health. That is, it extends beyond physical health. This is the wellness graph. You can see there are 6 domains across which we try to measure wellness, and each one of them is defined very well. I will let you go back and read in detail, again, paucity of time. This is an important diagram or graphic where you see the continuum between the medical paradigm to the wellness paradigm and how they define wellness. So you can see from poor health to optimal state of well-being. See the difference between left and right, okay? The left side is reactive and the right side is proactive, right? And you can see that on the right-hand side, you're talking about positive health, right? You're not just talking about biomarkers. You're talking more than that. That is the difference between the medical paradigm and the wellness paradigm. Oops, sorry. Now, well-being. The word well-being is long and it's difficult to fit in my title, but I want to focus on well-being. So I want you to pay attention to what is well-being and how is it different from wellness. So well-being is the experience of health, happiness, and prosperity. This is a very important concept. We talk about joy, prasanna atma indriya manaha in Ayurveda. This is the vast concept that we need to plug into. You know, a state of joy. Happiness is different from joy. So this is a very important line. I wish we could reflect more on that, but let me go through the slide. It includes having good mental health, high life satisfaction, a sense of meaning or purpose. Each word is important. A lot of people are missing purpose in life. So there is no meaning of life. And therefore that leads to lack of ease, which leads to dis-ease. This is really important if we can plug into that. Well-being encompasses quality of life and ability of people and societies to contribute to the world with a sense of meaning and purpose. So you can go through the rest of the definition. And here you can see the difference between wellness and well-being is nicely captured. Again, between wellness and well-being is broader and has a wider framework of wellness. And it is not necessarily proactive. It's just a state of being. You don't have to go out and do something. It is a state of being. So please look at this in detail later on. Now, I wanted to share some studies on this. So while traditional medicine focuses on diagnosing and treating disease, research demonstrates that enhancing psychological, emotional, and social well-being contributes directly to better resilience to disease and recovery and reduce complications and overall health, better health. You can see that there is a meta-analysis of cohort studies that found that positive psychological well-being is significantly associated with reduced mortality in both healthy populations and in people with disease, even after adjusting for traditional risk factors. Another study of older adults over 50 showed that higher levels of purpose in life, optimism, life satisfaction, all of these are free, they're non-tangible, adravya chikitsa, what we call. Positive affects and social support corresponded with increased life expectancy. Not going to the gym or what we traditionally associate with longevity, these are just psychosocial affects. Positive affects that we are talking about, and they have been measured. Quality of life and functioning. This is a very recent study. You can see it in 2025. Healthy individuals were compared with ill individuals, and those with illness had predictably lower well-being, but the study highlighted that well-being, not just disease or symptoms severity, is a critical dimension of how individuals live with illness. Then psychological traits like gratitude. You've been hearing this, right? Gratitude journal, right? A lot of people are now recommending write a gratitude journal. And that has been found to foster well-being and buffer stress, which in turn has physical health implications, better immune function, and reduced cardiovascular risk. You can see there is a study that actually measured it. So other positive effects and reduced risk for chronic illnesses, mental well-being, and disease risk, you can go through these studies. I know 5 minutes is coming. I know I had requested you. Mental health and treatment adherence, all these have been measured, and I would like you to go over these separately. You can Google these studies, so I'm pausing on these slides a little bit. Now, this is a very recent slide that I have captured from my meeting on NCCIH. Everybody knows the full form? National Center for Complementary and Integrative Health, which is a subset of NIH in USA. I'm coming from USA. This is a slide by Dr. Helen Langevin, actually, and she has captured this so beautifully. On the side of health, you can see a greater density of positive biological, psychological, spiritual, social, and environmental positive effects. On the side of disease, you see them reduced, right? This is a very, very strong slide, I would say. In one graphic, it is showing a lot. And this is in the NCCIH research priority areas. You can see positive health processes, mind and body connection, and whole person research. These are at the top of priority areas in research strategy for coming years. This is from a meeting just 2 weeks back. It was a closed meeting, and I attended it. So this should tell you a lot. Now, philosophies for deeper well-being. Across time and continents, ancient cultures developed moral, metaphysical, and practical frameworks aimed at a single enduring aim, human flourishing. So we all have, I used to have moral science classes in my school. Don't lie, don't be rude, don't be unkind. You all remember that, right? They had a value, okay? And you can see scholars have begun to provide empirical support for the idea that ancient philosophies and wisdom traditions contribute positively to well-being, mental health, and physical health. Now, I have some studies to demonstrate some of these philosophies, tenets, how they affect positive health. So you can see, I'll take you to the second bullet. You can see there was an innovative online Ayurveda program for detox and lifestyle on mental and physical health. And this is 2024. And they found over 4 months, participants experienced significant reductions in anxiety, depression, fatigue, physical symptoms, and even BMI. So what does this mean? Even if you can practice some mental health cleansing practices, whatever that might be, you know, getting rid of negative emotions or, you know, awareness around your breath, that can have a significant direct impact on physical health parameters. Then just talking about the sattvic, rajasic, tamasic foods, which have different energies according to Ayurveda, these also were associated with improved mental and spiritual well-being and harmony, which is very, very important if you think about all the chronic disease burden from cardiovascular diseases, hypertension, etc. Mental health is a big contributor. And these are also some recent studies. You can see, if you talk about indigenous philosophies, which are native Indian American philosophies. So I'll again take you to the second bullet, because can't go over everything. Examining indigenous identity as a protective factor in mental well-being. So there were some youth that were scoped for identity with their tradition. And you can see that they were able to face stressors much more resiliently once their connection with their identity was established. Just that we belong to a culture. We have ancestral traditions. Just that was enough. So I'm going to take you to steps forward. You can see, given the evidence, here are some guidelines for cultivating and integrating well-being at personal as well as social levels. Some personal practices in clinical settings, these need to be integrated. Community and policy level, we need to make changes. So even though these are untapped and are not discussed often, I think we need to pay attention to how these are actually powerful determinants of patient outcomes. And sorry, my time is up. I'll leave you with this. Just read this. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Dr. Pratibha Shah, for your inspiring contribution.